Okay, and we're back. Okay, let's get back straight into inking while I've got, I think I've got a certain amount of grace period before the 440 shop starts messing with me again. Certainly seems to be a bit smoother with some of the memory stuff offloaded. Should remember to do this more often, maybe. This brush is just getting too thick. Too thick. With 2 C's. I don't know how to pronounce that right. I think it's like... Because, like, thick with a K is thick, you know? So, like, how do you pronounce thick? 2 C's. It's like... I want to say... thick. Right? That's a thought. Check my stream here, because a buddy of mine wants to watch, and apparently he can't, so better double check. One definitely wants to make sure that their friends are happy. It's not really gonna change. Stop streaming? What's happening here? Okay, so my restream claims it's on, but for some reason my Twitch isn't. Hang on, I'll try again and see. Sometimes it takes a while to update. Yeah, it's definitely live on my end, so I'll just ask him to refresh. There are a couple of places where it actually makes sense to use the full heavy 20. Mostly the bottom of the tank treads. So I think I'm gonna do that. And maybe not go so thick anywhere else. And I'm not gonna pronounce thick with 2 C's every time I make a line because frankly that's ridiculous. Even I have to draw the line with appropriating terms and poor taste somewhere. Oh, I'm trying to go thin, I ended up going thick again. Hello, who is gracing us with their sorry, that was more awkward than I intended. Hi. Good to see you. Whoever you may be. Feel free to talk in the chat. I'll be able to see what you're typing. I didn't think that felt right. Definitely feels off. All right, we now have 2 people following. Feel free to talk in the chat. I'd love to hear you guys, or rather, I guess, read you guys sound off. I should be able to respond to you, so I can certainly see you, okay? I just don't know who you are. I can just see, hey, look, there's eyeballs. And that's all I know, unless you decide to introduce yourself. If you don't feel bad. I won't feel bad. I'm glad to just see you, but it'd be great to actually talk to you while I wait forever for Photoshop to do anything, because Photoshop is being a butt. Because Photoshop likes being a butt. This is why I prefer Clip Studio. So, are you ever gonna do anything? Photoshop? Come on, man. Where even are you now? They're too close for me to do anything accurate. Okay. Alright, I guess I'll be okay. Should probably just turn off the functions for Magic and Cut Brush, because having it... Those 2 brushes I don't use in my work, like, ever. They always seem to get in my way. Come on. I think I turned somebody off by kvetching about Photoshop. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not normally like this. Okay, let's try saving and purging the stuff because... Okay. And now I've lost everybody, which makes me sad, but I guess I can't be super surprised considering. I'm gonna try turning off Photoshop and turning it back on again. Come on. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it. Another pleasant surprise I'm having today is that my graphics card is not, or I guess it's accurately not the card, it's the software that runs it, but it's not crashing. I'm used to it crashing and then doing recovery, and then once it does recovery, Photoshop's all like, no, you can't turn your canvas. No canvas turning for you. You scrub. I don't know. I don't know what names Photoshop calls me behind my back, but I'm assuming scrub is one of them. But I haven't been having that particular problem. I've been having problems with like literally everything else, but not that. Oh yeah, maybe I should turn off the rulers. That would probably be helpful. You find out this entire time that Moses has been having trouble because she left her rulers on like a scrub. And scrubs don't get no Photoshop love. Oh well. I'm graced with relatively non-laggy lines for a few minutes, so let's make it count. I notice it lags as soon as I start pressing Control Z. Yep, there it goes. I predicted it. Okay. No, not the cut brush. Alright, let's wait for... Okay, good. Registered. I like this tune. It's very 80s. All I need is for the smoothness to last long enough for me to finish inking these treads. It's not an easy prospect, but I don't have as many to cover on this side, so it might actually be possible. Okay, that's the major ones. I'll do. But yes, I think turning Photoshop off and on again every few minutes might be the way to go. Hello, IT. Did you try turning Photoshop off and on again? That's it. That's the only reliable way to save your soul from cache delays, I guess. See, I'm still just enough of an artist that like I don't know every detail of how Photoshop works. I know enough to get by, I'd like to think. But I don't know if I could save your computer from Photoshop death if you were to encounter something fatal. I am not an IT lady. I am sorry to say. So there are limits to what I can do. But hey, at least I'm getting somewhere. Now the radio station that I have playing right now is a chiptune station called Random Chiptune Radio. It's kind of cool. I've been watching all these little odd little streams pop up. I think the Electro Swing and the Lo-Fi streams were the first two big ones. But now we've got chiptunes. What was the? There was like a retro-y kind of 80s pop mix genre. I think it was like retro wave. I think it's called retro wave. There's one of those stations now. It's neat. It's very interesting. Yay! On to big things! Bigger things, anyway. As much as I'd like to be more fluid on this arm, I think there's only so much poor Photoshop will let me. Now that'll work. Think at once, but hey. At least now I'm actually getting things done. It's nice. Finally, kid bashing Photoshop to the point that I can do things with it. Should do this sort of thing more often. Let's make it a little smaller, I think. See, I made that line in one stroke, and as you can see, it's Photoshop is taking its sweet, sweet time rendering it, and it's all way too thick. No. I know this one's blatantly got a miss in places, but if it's good enough elsewhere, I might keep it. I guess erase. No. Oh, that's more like it. Another neat thing that I don't have to worry about, I've never had to wear an anti-fouling glove. Just haven't. I'm even leaning my little pinky against the screen here, but I don't really have any grease on my hands or anything like that, so I just have to worry about occasionally wiping the dust off my little Surface screen. I'm finally getting some new screen protectors after like 5 years because I've finally been using the central part of the screen protector so much that it's a little bit dinged up and it's starting to make things a little bit trickier to see. But that's all I need to worry about. I've been using the same screen protector for like years straight, and I've done all this art and stuff on my little Surface. But I haven't had any serious issues with it. I think the keyboard has a few crumbs and stuff on it from just years and years of use, but it still otherwise works just as I bought it. The only problem is that what I want to do with it now is my ambitions are finally starting to outstrip my computing power. That's the only real problem I'm having. The computer actually still works as intended, it's just now the artosphere is getting a lot more competitive, which means I have to do more with it than it was intended to do. It's a shame, but at the same time, I can't bring myself to be mad. I'm actually, this is the best computer I've had so far. I'm not sure they even make the Surfaces the way they used to. Actually, I know for a fact they don't. This one has a much older Wacom. It was kind of using a variant of Wacom technology to make the pen work. And the Surface models have not had that since this generation. This is a Pro 2, so now they're using N-Trig, and the stylus is apparently actually not as good, which makes me a little sad, because I'm now finally in the market to get a computer that hopefully substantially upgrades this little guy, and from what I'm seeing, a newer Surface is actually just not going to do what this little guy does. And that makes me sad. The only problem is that getting a little computer with a Wacom infused tablet like this one is either almost as pricey as a Surface but much less powerful, or it's more powerful but also a lot pricier. So I'm kind of weighing my options very carefully at this point. And using this nice old dude in the meantime. Please undo, please undo, please undo, please undo, please undo, please undo. Hey, 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 I know you can do it. Please undo. Come on, buddy. Come on. See, I can tell it's delaying because I just hit the button for eraser and it's still not doing anything, so I know the keyboard still works, so what are you doing, man? Please undo. See, it's also not drawing. Please undo. Come on. Come on. I know you can do it, buddy. Come on. Come on. Undo. 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 I'll just take a drink of water. And of course, the minute I take a drink of water, it finally thinks to undo. Thank you for that. What's a girl gotta do to get a goofy kitchen arm bot around here? Okay, come on, buddy. Yeah, I knew there's a reason why I didn't do hands all in one go. It still doesn't feel right. It still feels exaggerated, but at least plausible, so I'll go with that. Spoon! I think I actually had. I think I actually had a reference of the kitchen bot somewhere. Oh, wait. That'll do. Oh, so much stuff. But yes, look at all these pages. And some of them are brand new. And I'm not going to show you any yet because I don't want to spoil it. I don't think I did any. Oh, no, I did beat up the kitchen bot a bit. Look at all those beat up lines. Alright, I guess I should go back in and glad I'm still able to do this and stuff. And yeah, the bottom hull part is of course a little bit beat up too. Because when you're making things out of used metal, they're not going to be perfectly clean and pristine, you know? I think this will do fine. I don't need to. It hasn't been like outright kicked or anything, so I don't have to like draw a dent into it or something. It's just kind of just like imperfect materials. Just like the bot itself is imperfect. It's an imperfect little bot, but we love it anyway. In fact, we love it because it's imperfect. Nope. Like, Max's mom, Nikki, is basically... I'm basically setting her up to be Gromit from Wallace and Gromit. Like, he's that kind of peculiar inventor figure. In another life, he probably could have starred in her own series of shorts. But, nah. I'm feeling a bit too adventuresome for that. I think it'd be funny, but it's not something I want to... Come on, buddy. You can do it. Go on. Go on. Okay. All right. That's enough, I guess. See, I don't like that connection one. I think Photoshop kind of loves it when secretly loves it when I zoom in, because then it doesn't have to display as many pixels at the same time. It's like, no, don't zoom out. I'll never be able to display all those pixels at once. It's like, do your job, Photoshop. There we go. Yeah, I did another Control Z. There we go. Yeah, like sometimes there's times where I just gotta press Control Z and wait, because otherwise it's gonna do stuff that I don't particularly want it to do. Yes, it's absolutely true that I can't undo purging cache. But on the other hand, though, you also can't undo not purging the cache, causing Photoshop to take forever to do anything and ruining your life, your art life, that is. No one to purge. Basically, anytime you're happy with a section of line art, purge while you're in Photoshop. Just for the sake of your own sanity. But yes, I'm actually getting pretty close on this one. Because the really hard part was the treads, and that's long done, so at this point I'm just doing stuff like finalizing the plate it's holding. I think maybe I need to do the hand that's kind of on the floor behind it still, because I wanted to do kind of the foreshortened parts of this bot first, just to make that all nice and clear. But some of the stuff is actually really coming along. Buddy! Buddy! Wait for Control Z on that particular plate line, because as you can see, it went a little wide. The quality is right, but the curvature is a little wide. I know I could technically transform warp it, but sometimes it kind of messes with the gesture of a line. I'd prefer not to do that on a cover piece. I think I'd be perfectly fine with warping it, like just on a storyboard or whatever, but this is not a storyboard. This is an illustration. It's a little bit pickier. I'm gonna want to do an eraser next, because I just noticed there's a bit of janky lines. It's jank. It's kind of jank. There we go. That's not bad. No, I didn't think it would take me 2 hours just to ink this this one cover. I'm a little embarrassed, to be honest. It'll get much faster when it comes to grayscale and colors, though. Especially with the grayscale stuff, because like I already have an earlier version of this cover that I can reference. I can just do the color picker off of that and then quickly put in the flats and shade it. And then coloring is even easier, because what I'm basically doing is I'm just taking the grayscale and I'm changing parts of it into the colors I want. So that sometimes looks a little labby the way I do it, but it's actually very flexible. And working out the grayscale first allows me to think about the tone quite a bit. So I can fix a lot of stuff on the fly. Like I said, that might not be everybody's thing. I've seen some really great artists just start basically open with just like flat shapes, like either grayscale or otherwise. Like they'll make like a tiny little doodle first to just get kind of where they want things put, but then after that it's like flat shapes and then maybe a few lines, and they make it look so cool. I'm not there yet, but I'd like to think I could get there someday. Okay. I said I wouldn't use the warp tool. I think this will be my one exception. That is still the warp tool hotkey, right? I might have just hit the wrong hotkey. T, maybe? No, that's not it. Maybe it's just Control T and then yeah, it's gotta be. Yep, I just do it manually. Okay. I'm actually gonna be doing very little It's just that the line was a little bit... It looked almost like it was pointing. That's just weird. There we go. So I haven't really lost much. There's like that tiny divot right there. I'll just kind of brush it over. This is gonna take a sec. I guess this was a song related to snow. It's called Snow Day by, I think it's Dread? I hope I pronounced that right. I hope that J came out right. It's pronounced like Judge Dredd, except instead of the... Except the J is just, like, in place of the first D in Dread. Does that make any sense? Did I say that right? I hope I did. Buddy. There we go. Okay. Okay, right now the inking's actually coming along pretty smooth, so I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'll finish this inking pass, clear the cache one more time. Oh, hey! Hello, hello, hello! It's good to see you, whoever you may be. If you want to say hi, I'll be able to see you in the chat, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Uh-oh, it's gonna have to wait. Because I just pressed Control Z, you see, and it's kind of taking its sweet time to actually do that undo, so that's okay. I'm getting used to it, so I'm just kind of letting it do its thing. Because, like, I know it's not completely shutting down on me. If it was, it would have just let me know by now, so I'm just kind of letting it do its thing, and then... Not quite. Getting there, though. So ideally what I want it to do is What I want it to do is I want the floorboard to kind of feel like you can see more of it as it gets, as the line gets more toward you, so... Foreshortening. I like it. And like I don't have to render every part of the floorboard for this cover, because part of its stylistic appeal is that you don't see all of it. You kind of see it sort of fade in, almost like a watercolor effect. So that feel when you're trying to move around the canvas and it decides you're trying to use the brush tool instead. Thank you so much. That's not what I meant to do. Thank you. It's being sluggish. There we go. Not quite. Close though. That'll do. Goes a little too wide for my taste. Finally, almost done the inks. Oh, so excited. I just can't hide it. No. I don't think we need two knots in a row. I think I'm pretty okay with the stuff on toward this edge here being just an abstraction as opposed to being... no. Okay, so that takes me to an inked cover, which I'm going to... That's a little bit odd. I've had some I think maybe it thought I was trying to erase when I was actually trying to move the canvas at one point. No, that's weird. Oh, I think I know what it is. It's actually just text. Let's try this. Yep, there it is. Just text. Cool. I'm gonna have to hide the info layers for now. And then what I'm gonna do is I am going to save this dude, and I'm gonna shut down the stream for the second time today. Do a little bit of maintenance-y stuff, and then I'll reopen this once again. So, cheers, thank you for watching so far, and I'll see you in a few.